Hi kiddies and moms, this is Anima Upadhyay, your friend, and today we will talk about our environment. But before I start my video, please take a pen and paper and also subscribe to my channel if you have not done it so far. Please share my video among your friends and recommend my channel to your friends too. So when we are talking about the environment, we must know what environment means. The surroundings in which we all live and interact with, and is a natural resource consisting of air, water, light, and other living beings, maybe plants or trees or animals, and other human beings, is called our environment. We not only consume those things but also interact with them. The environment helps us to grow, to propagate, to sustain ourselves and live happily on this planet Earth. So in short, we can say that environment is made up of living things and non-living things. Living things are called biotic component and non-living things are called abiotic components. Now I will show you one scenery made by me. Please watch it carefully. There are so many things shown in this scene. There's a girl sitting on a bench, trees, grass, flowers, a lake or a river there, the clouds in the sky, the walkway, a fence. Now you have to make a list of biotic components shown here and the abiotic components. I've already discussed with you about the living and the non-living things in one of my videos. You can watch it. I'll give you the link in the description box. So it's a revision also. At the same time, this is a scenery of our environment also. Now we'll go further into the details of environment. Environment is made up of four important components or layers or spheres. So these four spheres, why I am calling spheres? Because earth is spherical. It is like a ball. So whatever is inside the earth or whatever is covering the earth like an envelope is all spherical in shape. So these four layers which constitutes the environment are also spherical. Therefore they are called spheres. What are those spheres? You can note them. Lithosphere, lithos means rocks. Hydrosphere, hydros means water. Biosphere, bio means life, living things, and atmosphere. That is the air, the sphere of air. So these are the four spheres. Lithosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and atmosphere. Now we will be learning each sphere one by one. So first, before going to the spheres, I'll show you this beautiful image where you can see all the four spheres drawn by me and the environment is depicted very neatly. You can also use your mom's bangle. The orange color, this is the lithosphere, the rocky thing where soil, humus, stones, sand, etc. forms the lithosphere. This blue color is the hydrosphere, the water sphere. This is the atmosphere, the air where you can see the clouds, the sunlight. And this is the biosphere where you can see the living things, the trees, the birds. You can also make animals. So this is how the environment is depicted with the help of this figure. Now, we'll start with the lithosphere. Lithos, as I said, is rocks. When the rocks, they break down, they form soil. And when the soil is mixed with the leaves and dead of the animals, it forms humus. And it becomes a fertile soil. The humus is fertile. So, we will be talking about the lithosphere. So, lithosphere is constituted of sand, stones, hills and mountains, soil and humus. If you cut down a small piece from a cake, it will look like this. So, we are here seeing the various layers of the earth from surface to inside. The outermost, where you see the grass, where we construct the houses, where you see the lakes, is called the crust. And it extends up to 35 kilometers. After 35 kilometers comes the mantle. The mantle is made up of two layers. The outermost mantle layer and the lower mantle. Then comes the core. Core is also made up of two layers, outer core and the inner core. So this is how the various layers of earth is shown in this figure. Lithosphere is made up of crust and the outermost layer of the mantle, and it extends up to 60 kilometers. So the core and the lower mantle is not included in the lithosphere. You must remember this. And the lithosphere is made up of soil, humus, sand, stones, rocks, hills and mountains. All these things are there in the lithosphere. So lithosphere is also made up of minerals and ores. You can draw this diagram showing all the layers and telling where does the lithosphere stands in this figure. Now comes the second layer. We have gone into the earth. Now we will go above the earth into the sky. The atmosphere is made up of 6 layers and it extends 10,000 kilometers and beyond. So the 6 layers are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere and ionosphere. We will be starting from inside and we will be going towards the periphery. So the layer which is closest to the earth up to 12 kilometers is troposphere. And this is the region of maximum activity where the density of air is highest. You see the clouds in this region. You see the dust in this region, which spoils the quality of the air. After the troposphere, that is from 12 to 50 kilometer, comes the next region, that is the stratosphere. It is also called the ozone layer region. Here, the temperature increases with the altitude. Altitude means height. So as you go up in the stratosphere, the temperature rises. It increases. And as I said, it is a region called the ozone region. So it's very important because ozone layer absorbs the harmful ultraviolet rays and cosmic rays and prevents them from reaching to the earth because they are very harmful radiations and cancer causing. Another important thing is that it is the stratosphere where the planes, the jets, they fly to avoid the clouds and the turbulence caused by the clouds. Next region is mesosphere, which extends from 50 to 90 kilometers. And in the mesosphere, the temperature decreases with the altitude. Then comes the thermosphere, that is the region extending from 90 to 700 kilometers, and here the temperatures are very high. Thermos means temperature. They are extremely high, thousands of temperature degrees centigrade. And then comes from 700 to 10,000 kilometers is exosphere, beyond which is ionosphere, where the charged particles are found, called ions, and this is the reason it is called ionosphere. Now here all the layers I have explained to you. This is the earth, and the region which is closest to the earth is the troposphere. You can see clearly in this figure. The troposphere, then stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere and ionosphere. So there are 6 layers and it extends beyond 10,000 kilometers, the atmosphere of the earth. I have already explained the heights and the importance of each region. So another important thing about the atmosphere and especially about the troposphere, where the air is having the maximum density, that air is not just made up of oxygen, but it is a mixture of gases, and the major part is made up of nitrogen, which is 78.09%. Oxygen is just 20.93%. Argon is 0.93%. Carbon dioxide is 0.03%. And other inert gases are 0.02%. So if you sum up all these, it will come out to be 100. So which gas is maximum in the air is nitrogen, not oxygen. And carbon dioxide is just 0.03%. If there is any change in the concentration of these gases, or there is mixing of other gases in the air or the dust particles, it leads to pollution, which is harmful for all the living beings and obviously for the environment. Then comes the third sphere, that is the hydrosphere. And we all know that Earth is called blue planet because 71% of the Earth is water. Still, we have only 1% water as drinking water. 96.5% of the water is saline. It is in the sea. It is salty. We cannot drink it or use it for domestic purposes. Therefore, we should conserve water. It's only 3.5% of water that is present as fresh water. And 1% is available because out of 3.5%, the remaining is in the form of frozen ice, as glaciers, as ice caps, as snow. Or if it is present in the river, it's not potable, it is not fit for drinking. Potable means drinking water. So only 1% is just available. Now let us see the hydrosphere. So all the water whichever is present on the earth is called hydrosphere, and the water can be categorized into 2 categories: the groundwater, which we have to dig from the earth, which is called deep borewell, or in the form of surface water. So all other forms except the borewell water is called surface water. Whether it is rainwater or sea water or river water or pool or the springs, they are all the flowing water from the slopes. They are all surface water. Now, even the solid water in the form of snow, frozen water on the high mountains like Himalayas, glaciers, it's all surface water. But the frozen water is called cryosphere. So, cryosphere is a part of hydrosphere. Now, you can see in this figure, I have shown all the water which is present on the earth, whether it is in the form of groundwater under the ground, or it is in the form of surface water, whether it is snow or it is rain or it is flowing from the slopes or it is a lake, river, sea, whatever it is. All these forms of water constitutes the hydrosphere, including the cryosphere. Now, when the sun is high in the sky and it's a warm day, what happens? That the water in the water bodies evaporates and it rises up as water vapor and it gets condensed. So condensation takes place when it rises up and it leads to the formation of clouds. Similarly, the plants also they transpire. As a result of transpiration, the water vapor is produced which condenses to form the clouds. Then the clouds precipitates and comes down as rain back to the earth. So this cycle goes on and this is called the water cycle. And the water is continuously recycled. So this is how the hydrosphere works. Any change in this cycle or because the water which is coming down is the runaway water from the slopes brings with it the soil and different other microorganisms into the water bodies which leads to pollution. So one main reason of the runaway water is deforestation, which should be stopped. And the next sphere is the biosphere. Although biosphere is limited compared to the other three spheres, but they play a significant role because it is the living component, the biotic component that interacts and consumes the abiotic components of the environment. So here in this figure, I have shown all the biotic components, whether they live in water or in air or on the soil or under the ground, just below the earth crust. They all forms the biosphere. So whatever living forms are there, whether they are microorganisms or macroorganisms, whether they are algae or single-celled animals or parasites or decomposers, they all constitute the biosphere, including the plants, trees, animals, birds, insects, and we, the human beings. So, we are the ones who are facilitated by the natural resources in the form of environment. And environment helps us in our growth, in our evolution, in our propagation. We should take care of the environment. So the surroundings in which we live and interact is called the environment. I have given you a detailed knowledge of the environment. I am sure you can write an essay with figures on environment. If you have any queries, please do ask a question by leaving it in the comment box. We will be talking more about the environment, that is the pollution, and pollution is the alteration of these layers of the environment. Any alteration in the layers of the environment leads to pollution. Like the concentration of carbon dioxide should be only 0.03%. If it exceeds, it will lead to greenhouse effect, which could be a disaster for the earth and for the life on the earth. We'll be talking about it in the coming videos. Till then, take care of yourself and your environment. Bye bye.